with your host, Kosmonic.
That's right. It's your hostess with the mostest, burning like toast is right back at it. Cosmonic early morning vibes. You dig what I'm saying? This that early morning cushion coffee section. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all be waiting out for that new show. Gonna be popping up real soon. Cushion coffee. We gonna be up early, getting it in with this Ethereum light. This is thank everybody for tapping in. Please thumb up, subscribe, and hit that button and share the live out, right? Y'all go over there to Creator Gang TV, subscribe, like, share. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's get this thing moving. Now, this is the Jehovah Chronicles, number 191. Ooh, we creeping up. We creeping up. T Brew, what up, though? What up, though? T Brew in the house. Who else we got up in here? Sila Shilly. That's right. That's right. Black Royal family up in this thing. Salute them. Hey, y'all go over there and y'all watch Atlanta's Ugly. Y'all go sub, like, share, go support the brother, man. You dig what I'm talking about, man? Gonna be getting this thing on Tubi soon. You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, man, I gotta salute that brother Sila Shalom, man. He never stops. You dig what I'm talking about? Different types of complications, dealing with different types of people, attitudes, you know what I mean? To be in a sense a good leader or a good king, you must be able to manage the people who are around you. You dig what I'm talking about? And in some ways, not saying that you the all in all, but you know what I mean? You got to think for them. You know what I mean? Set boundaries and, you know what I mean? Restrictions, not, just because you're the boss, but to keep everyone safe. You dig what I'm talking about? That's the whole thing, to keep everyone safe and to be able to come back and do the same thing the very next day, man. So, you know what I mean? As a director, producer, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Y'all check my boy out, Sila Shalom, man. And if you got any projects coming up, you know what I mean, that you want some of that quality shooting, and then all you gotta go do is the proof is in the pudding. All you gotta go do is watch Atlanta Ugly. Watch watch how the cinematography is shot, the actual look. You dig what I'm talking about? It's dope. You dig what I'm talking about? We got up in here. We got Now What up in here. T Brew up in here. Elijah 7 up in here. Aboriginal Bull. That's what I like that name. I like that name. Hey, you mess with a bull, you know what you gonna get. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah. Jaway. Tone, the lonely one. You dig what I'm talking about? See, Last Day is definitely like running a kingdom. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what we are. Gods in training. My sister's up in here. Tabitha up in here. My sister's always been better than your sisters anyway. Shout out to my island connect, the island god. Tabitha. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my big sister, Tigva. I keep telling you, my sisters is better than your sisters. Jay Manson up in this thing, man. You dig what I'm saying? Let me see if we can get we're gonna keep some vibes coming real quick. And this is Jehovah Chronicles number 191. We creeping up on 200, y'all. I want to do a live build on the flood and the Ark of Noah. So I want everybody to come in, man. I'm gonna promo that. You dig what I'm saying? Probably set up a, whenever we get up to that time, set up a date for it. You know what I mean? Promo it, have everybody come in, and we do a live question and answer type. You dig what I'm talking about? And, try to cover the whole thing. You dig what I'm saying? Try to cover the whole thing. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I need to know about that son. Oh, yeah. You know what? Sister Tigva, I might get into that a little later. About the sun, you know what I mean, and what the sister was calling vehicles coming about the sun. Now, there's two ways to look at that. You dig what I'm talking about? We could take it a more natural look. And then there's a more extraterrestrial type, alien type understanding that I'm not going to say it's not impossible. Not going to say it's impossible, but we also could be seeing something else, right? We could be seeing something else. You know what I mean? And because in many of these mass coronal explosions, you dig what I'm talking about, particles are escaping, and mass particles could be escaping, and that's exactly what we could be seeing. But they are massive. Them things, whatever they are huge. Huge, huge, huge. Some of them as big as the earth. So yeah, we get into that. Let's see if we can pump some music up in here. Let me see what we got going on before we get into this. But today's lesson, dang, my dog snoring he's snoring like a grown man. Today's lesson is about the Kosmonic theory of rational carbon dating. There's so many different issues and problems that reoccur with carbon dating. You dig what I'm talking about? With the new understanding being brought forth in the WASP by the Great Spirit these days, it gives us a new way to not, just totally throw carbon dating to the side, but to rationalize it and make it make sense and put it in the cosmogony that aligns with science, history, and time, right? So we're going to get into the Kosmonic theory of radiocarbon dating, the Kosmonic theory of rational carbon dating, because carbon dating, as we know, is fraught with many problems and is in many parts irrational. It doesn't make sense, right? Want to get into some of this. Let's get a nice little groove going real quick, and we'll jump right up off into this. Let's go.
This is all my fault, I know, but please The hood keep calling, it's money on the flow, and I gotta see what they talk about, you know. Don't talk about what you don't know with nobody. Nobody in our business keeps us in business. Keep haters on the show, closest friends could be your enemies. Ain't trying to enjoy your mama, paranoia even gets to me. Especially when you blow this loud grain tree. People's listening, B plus the block praise me. I'm a gangster and a gentleman, but not too damn sensitive. No sexual shit, straight from the street, bitch. Stay on some shit. Posted with the heaters, 40 cal leather guns and the millimeters. Cold-hearted when you deal with cats that's retarded. And I brought it to the house, so baby, I'm begging your pardon. The tears from your eyes, tomorrow the day we started. We gon' wine and dine, then I leave you till it's throbbing.
This is all my fault, I know, but please, girl, don't cry. I didn't mean to be so cold, but I got caught up. I'ma try to see you later, or make it up another night. Maybe make a wine inside.
We supposed to be intimate, but I ain't even into it. Now shorty getting sensitive, she know my time is tentative. Now every day we into it, because I'm always into it. Daddy go deliver it to get us out this tenement. Rap life is hectic, a hard occupation when it's money on the floor, and you gotta go and chase it. But your cutty feeling cabin fever, feeling isolated, when she used to getting straight back shots, inoculations. But he carried on through complications, carefully contemplating, cush up in our conversations, keeping the time pacing. Sorry to keep you waiting, but this paper won't. And these haters will leave you faded if you let them. Since Major got the magic and Chucky chasing cheddar, Calvin P a beat, flipping D, Jimboree. Sorry about the times I left you faded. I'll make it up another time, cause the grind's still waiting.
You know you're my missus. This is all my fault, I know, but please, girl, don't cry. I didn't mean to be so cold, but I got caught up. I'ma try to see you later, or make it up another night. Maybe we can wine it tight. You know you're my missus. This is all my fault, I know, but please, girl, don't cry. I didn't mean to be so cold, but I got caught up. I'ma try to see you later, or make it up another night. Maybe we can wine it tight.
Yeah. Check this out, y'all. New Kosmonic.
Well, cause when that fire start coming on with, well, I don't know how much more we gon' take. Well, Israel must do working someday. Well, cause when that fireman fire on with,
fireman, I'm on fireman. Break hell's knots with a firebrand. If you planning good works, then apply your plan. In my jam pumping out of my auto van. Yes, y'all, I'm an S and I'm going extra hard. I'm trying to raise the bar, make him scream, oh my Lord. He goes so hard, he like, I know how hard. You can tell by my weight and by the glow on my face. I'm up in my spiritual weight. My talent will not go to waste. So when there's no way, Jehovah be making the way. Straight from the place where the pastor fool ya. Born in the deep where the dudes do ya. He a law bringer like Zarathustra. Or I say, don't mess with Juja. UPS flow, I just deliver it. Flow be so cold, winter be shivering. Cosmonic cow, y'all can't be serious. I'm an Ethereum, they Atmospherian. So please don't try to copy. This is Owaspy, Aki. Before I had to repent for having a poppy. Super 7 float like Shimmer across the ocean says. Big dog barking out the hating head. Trudra wanna kill me cause I'm iron. And police wanna kill me cause I'm riding. They say they looking for me. The great EOE. I'm so geeky. You say you building shalom, you need you some eggs. I roll with the click of the realest. They call us the Fed. Cause when that fire start coming on well, I don't know how much more we gon' pay. Israel must do working someday. Cause when that fireman fire on way. GIT, I'm a god of training. Fireman, please don't bring that flaming. Meat eater flow, boy, you can't tame it. SCG, start y'all and bang it. The flat earth's a fallacy, look at the galaxy. You are not ready to battle me. Vortexian heat from out of his speech. Calcus a cosmic calamity. Since the Seymour and Edge, I just been flowing for this. I keep the fire ablaze. Oh, Waspy will have you a mess, so turn you a page. And you be stuck there for this. Let's think of this logically. Who gon' be possibly stopping me? I make the possible possible. Spitting the verbal dichotomy. Look like the lottery. I got the glow like forgotten. Man is the gun man and basically resisting why the black man is a Ahuan, a warrior feathers. Yeah, they shoot us in faces, or they lock us in cages. Sick they dogs on my dog, slam my mamas on pavement. I think I'm Geechee Manito. But Waspy flow is legal, do this for my people. You say you build a shalom, you need you some eggs. I roll with the click of the wheels, they call us the Fed. Cause when that fire start coming on well, I don't know how much more we gon' pay. Israel must do working someday. Cause when that fireman fire on way, cause when that fire start coming on well, I don't know how much more we gon' pay. Israel must do working someday. Cause when that fireman fire on way.
That's that new Cosmon gonna be coming on that black and white album. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm gonna be hollering at some of y'all, you know what I mean, to get on that thing too. Shout out my dog Juice in the house. You dig what I'm talking about? Jaway up in this thing, Studio One Live, man. He said it got the Rasta feel to it. Them while y'all here, you see me? You see me? Got that Naya Bingy beating in my heart, boy. You dig what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's gonna be on the new black and white album. You dig what I'm saying? I want to share this with y'all real quick. And we gonna get right into the lesson. As a matter of fact, let me bring the banner up real quick. Okay, y'all show some love, support the channel. thumb up the video, share out the live, man. Let's get into some information. You dig what I'm saying? Early morning, up cooking. Hope you got your coffee cups ready. You dig what I'm saying? Hope you got your coffee cups ready. You dig what I'm saying? You might need a bib for this one because we're gonna make you think a little bit. You dig what I'm saying? Nothing better than early in the morning off some of that cushion, that coffee, getting yourself together. You dig what I'm saying? Without any further ado, let's get cracking.
Shout out to Kosmonic Cow. Kosmonic Cow, boy, I'm going to tell you something. He is a problem. He is a problem when it comes to these Hebrew Israelites. Y'all better stop playing. He is a problem. Kosmonic Cow is a problem. Creator gang.
That's right.
Creator gang coming. Creator gang coming. Turning up the light and watching boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Creator gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
How can we be certain that the historical accounts are accurate representations of world history? Unearthing the truth from ancient records and documents can be tricky, often yielding conflicting narratives and opposing theories. Thankfully, in the 20th century, scientific progress offered us a seemingly foolproof method to precisely date certain archaeological artifacts and place them within a historical timeline. Radiocarbon dating. The premise is elegantly simple. While an organism is alive, it maintains an equilibrium between the C14 it absorbs and the C14 undergoing radioactive decay. When the organism dies, it ceases to take in carbon dioxide, while the C14 in its tissues continues to decay at a known rate, with a half-life of approximately 5,730 years. Although this method is primarily optimized for dating organisms up to 50,000 years old, it is widely used to determine the ages of artifacts much closer to our historical timeline, say, within the last 2,000 to 3,000 years. Here's where the complications arise. As we'll illustrate, carbon dating routinely provides dates with a margin of error ranging from 1,000 to 2,000 years, making specimens appear far older or even dating them to the distant future. The issues with this dating method became apparent from its very inception. In 1946, Willard Frank Libby, credited with its creation, published results that revolutionized the dating of ancient artifacts, earning him the Nobel Prize. However, Libby was not a historian and placed unwavering trust in the widely accepted chronology crafted in the Middle Ages, despite this narrative being highly disputed throughout history. For more on that, please refer to other videos made by History Hacked. One of his initial tests analyzed the Egyptian collection of J.H. Breasted, believed to date back to the 5th dynasty, around 2500 BC, and yielded carbon dates in the 1500 to 1600s AD. Libby, firmly convinced of his method's precision, declared these disputed objects as forgeries. However, from its inception, this method had its share of critics. Respected archaeologist Vladimir Milojcic pointed out a series of errors associated with the technique. For instance, a live North African wildflower displayed a radioactivity index that would erroneously imply it had been dead for several hundred years, whereas an Australian eucalyptus appeared to have an index suggesting it wouldn't exist for another 600 years. These errors did not go unnoticed by other scientists and researchers employing this technique. In issue number 225 of Nature magazine, dated the 7th of March 1970, the results of analyzing the C14 content of mortar from an English castle, known to have been built 738 years ago, produced a radiocarbon date of 7,370 years. An error of 6,500 years. The Antarctic Journal of the United States, published in 1971, reported radiocarbon analysis of freshly shot seals that inaccurately indicated an age of 1,300 years. Even seals mummified just 30 years prior were dated as 4,600 years old, with an astonishing error of 4,570 years. In 1984, the Technology and Science magazine published results from 2 symposiums in Edinburgh and Stockholm. In Stockholm, scientists highlighted that the radiocarbon method seemed to produce significant distortions when applied to ancient Egyptian history, particularly events preceding our time by 4,000 years. In 1989, the British Science and Technology Council analyzed the precision of the radiocarbon method in the 8th issue of New Scientist magazine. 38 laboratories worldwide participated in the research. They received specimens of wood, turf, and carbonate salts with known ages only to the organizers, not to the analysts. Shockingly, only 7 of the 38 laboratories reported somewhat accurate results. The rest were significantly off, by factors of 2 or 3 times or even more. Why might radiocarbon dating be inaccurate for objects believed to have originated within 2,000 to 3,000 years of the accepted historical timeline? One issue concerns cosmic factors, such as solar activity, cosmic rays, and even human activities like industrial emissions and nuclear bomb testing. These factors have altered atmospheric C-14 levels over time. While scientists have introduced corrections to account for these changes, volcanic emissions throughout history and prehistory can have similar effects, and it remains uncertain how these are factored in. Furthermore, there's the unsettling prospect of human error or, in the worst case, fraud. Many radiocarbon dating labs typically only accept samples with age estimates suggested by historians or archaeologists. Aforementioned, archaeologist Vladimir Miloicic proposed halting the critical editing of radiocarbon datings, urging both physicists and archaeologists to publish all research results without filtering out seemingly improbable dates. He also pushed for archaeologists not to inform physicists of the estimated age of a finding until after they've completed their analysis, ensuring truly objective results. Although these practices may have evolved over time, many recent carbon dates tend to align with the perceived age of an object estimated by archaeologists. Given that these samples are rarely tested independently and assigned assumed dates, there remains reason to remain skeptical about such claims. In conclusion, the errors inherent in radiocarbon dating are significant. They can lead to discrepancies of thousands of years, rendering the method unreliable when dating artifacts within our relatively short historical timeline. If you're intrigued by the notion that our historical timeline may be inaccurate, pay a visit to historyhack.com, where we offer hours of captivating video and audio content. And for those fascinated by alternative history and the realm of Tartaria, don't forget to check out the Shop Tartaria store, where you'll discover a selection of unique Tartarian clothing and accessories, all handcrafted by the magical forest elves deep in the heart of Tartary. Swing by historyhack.com/shop. Make sure to like and subscribe to History Hacked and follow us at history_hacked. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
All right. Let me share my screen with y'all real quick, and we're going to get right into the lesson. Give me 1 second. Let me play a little bit of music. Let me get a vibe real quick, and I'll be right back.
Sorry to keep you waiting, but this paper won't.
As I walk on this path of life, guided by the wasp insight. Every word, every line, every page I read, transforming my soul, planting a seed. Embracing the wisdom of the ancient text, in every chapter feeling blessed. The truth it unveils, the secrets it holds, connecting me to the universe's modes. Living in harmony, in peace and love, enlightened, shining from above. Oh, I spit, guiding me on, in the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark, and every moment, creating my mark.
trials and tribulations, I stand tall. But watch these teachings breaking every wall. My spirit soaring, my heart at peace. In the wisdom of a wasp, finding release. Aligned with the cosmos in perfect flow. Living by its principles, letting my light glow. Harmony and love, the essence of my being. Oh, wasp, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, wasp, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, wasp, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. Oh, the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Creating my mark. Oh, wasp, guiding me on. Wasp, guiding me on. Oh.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
I was talking that whole time and couldn't be heard. All right. Let me go back. I was talking that whole time and had my mic on mute. So let me go back up. All right. Let's get into this. This is the Kosmonic theory of rational carbon dating. Huh? The Kosmonic theory of rational carbon dating. Why? Because many, as we seen in the video previous, right? Carbon dating has many drawbacks and issues with it. So, you know, as scientists, you know, as faithists, the Creator calls us to be objective scientists, right? And if there is a way to bring a higher understanding of light, you know, to the situation, it's always good to apply that situation and bring it to the people, because even in your understanding, people can look at it and take it even further, right? Well, this is the Kosmonic theory of rational carbon dating. This is some of the stuff that I was able to notice by being a student of history, a student of science, and a new understanding of time, right? And how it is rationalized, right? So let's go get into this. Objectively, right? Many dates given in science do not correlate to what can be readily observed in nature. And with that focus in mind, carbon dating comes as a very serious obstacle when trying to place things archaeologically and geologically on a timeline, specifically when modern science is always moving the goalpost as new and contrary information is currently and continually brought forth. With science, right, being pigeonholed and hampered by outdated theories like evolution, and in hopes of synthesizing and harmonizing modern science with a new cosmogonic point of view, we find it necessary as new info and a radically different understanding of time and how it is reckoned and applied is now dawning upon the comprehension of man, making it possible for a more common sense correlation between science, time, and history. What I found is that once I got into Owaspy, things that we see that science tells us happens millions and billions of years ago actually don't happen that way, and they happen much quicker and much sooner than what science thinks. So the problem that I noticed is that every time science, history, archaeology, geology were all coming together to bring forth new information, they were always trying to fit it in the ideal of evolution. And so they might find something that says, well, this, you know, that they thought was very old, but the science is telling them it's only 2,000 years old. But in the theory of evolution, this thing couldn't have happened more than 200,000 or 2 million years ago, right? And so if it doesn't fit in the evolutionary time theory, they just set it to the side. They forget about it. It goes on. Somebody figures out another way to rationalize another incorrect ideal and fit it into the evolutionary theory, virtually changing all the data. And we never get down to any truth. Now, it is not my intention. So with that, that's why we came with the new theory. It is not my intention, nor is this an attempt to debunk carbon dating as a useful source in certain instances. Here's a visual representation of radio decay of carbon-14. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Turning carbon-14 through beta decay into nitrogen-14. And they add electrons and add antineutrinos until the carbon-14 is totally decayed. And by that rate, which is known in science, they use it to date once living material. Or you dig what I'm saying? So the biggest drawbacks, right, to carbon dating are its limited age range, which is only effective for items less than around 50,000 years old. Susceptibility to contamination from other carbon sources, and the potential for inaccurate results due to fluctuations in atmospheric carbon-14 levels throughout history, particularly impacted by human activities like nuclear testing and fossil fuel burning. Some of the bigger drawbacks. But by applying the science of the timetable of prophecy to history and science, right, a startling correlation was observed when cross-referencing the data. That by using two known proven historical events, right, both in time, right, and in Owaspy. One, the Laurentine glacial maximum, which correlates directly to the Great Deluge and the Ark of Noah 24,000 years ago, or 22,553 BC, right? That's one historical event. Mind you, the last glacial maximum happens 26,000 through 20,000 BC, right? Now, the mean between 26 and 20,000 is exactly 24,000 years. Let that sink in, right? Striking correlation right with the time that we should see it. It's there. And also, 12,000 or so years later, the Younger Dryas, which correlates directly to a time of falling nebulous material in the year of 10,953 BC during the 20th arc, called the cycle of Mos, right? When were the last glacial maximums, right? Here's a depiction of North America, right? Here's the Laurentine ice sheet. Here's the Calderon ice sheet. They are all way down here into Alabama, Mississippi. Look at all this. This is where the ice sheets go. Kentucky. You dig what I'm talking about? All the way down here, covering up all North America. All this is sea ice all the way back up. Now, if you notice these edges, see these brown edges right here? At this time, because of the freezing, right, that we're finding out 24,000 years ago, exactly, in between 26 and 20,000 years ago, exactly when there should be a cold burst. Why? Because cold etheric space is being dumped upon the planet after a continent was sunken. We should see less water. And this is what we find. Look, see these edges right here? This is exposed landmass. Look at this. You see this Gulf right here off the Baja Peninsula? It's not even a peninsula no more. Look at that. That's all dried in. Right? The water was much, much lower. Look at all this extra land. Look, you could literally walk from Florida to Cuba. It was connected. Right? The last glacial period, or LGP, also known as the last glacial cycle, occurred from the end of the last interglacial to the beginning of the Holocene, or from 115 BC to 1170, right? Or 11,700 years ago, or 9,700 BC, right? And as I say, and thus corresponds to most of the time span of the late Pleistocene, right? Y'all got to excuse me as I'm twisting up some of this jaja root. You get what I'm talking about? I'm early in the morning cooking. The last glacial period saw alternating episodes of glacier advance and retreat, with the glacial maximum occurring between 26 and 20,000 years ago. Here we go again, y'all. What is the mean of 26 and 20? 24. Exactly the correlation that we're looking for this event. Now, while the general pattern of cooling, now people going to say, man, this is information bias. Well, it shouldn't be there if it didn't happen. Right? And we're going off new information with a total different cosmogony, not what's being championed by science. But we're using science where it does prove OWASP, right? And it's right here, science. We are using the glacial information, and we're also using tree ring information, right? To date these events, right? Because if we can date them historically, we can put them on a timeline, then line that up to what is known in cosmogony, right? Now, while the general pattern of cooling and glacier advance around the globe was similar, local differences make it difficult to compare the details from continent to continent. But by the way, I want y'all to notice this. This is another correlation, that the Ark of Noah, or the time of the Great Deluge, lasted from 23,153 BC to 19,553 BC, explaining the 20,000 year date for the end of the Ice Age. Not only its cause, the Great Deluge, but why it ended. Because the Ark ended exactly 19,553 BC, 20,000 years ago. The most recent cooling, the Younger Dryas, began around 12,800 years ago and ended around 11,700 years ago, also marking the end of the Laurentine glacial period, or the last glacial period, and the Pleistocene epoch. They ended at the same time. It was followed by the Holocene that we are in right now. Holocene comes around 8,000 BC. The current, which is the Holocene, is the current geological epoch that we are in right now. Right? And here is the Younger Dryas impact field. This is where it was felt. Now, they think what happened during the Younger Dryas was that a comet fell and it impacted the Earth. And this is why they the drop of the cold temperatures, the quick ice age. You dig what I'm talking about? It only lasts about 1,000 years. You know what I mean? Why it came and went. Now, partially they're correct. It did have to do with a comet, but the comet never impacted the Earth. This is what they don't get. The vortex of the Earth drew in the substance of the tail of the comet. And that was rained on Earth. That blocked out the sun, though causing the temperature drop, hence the Younger Dryas effect. Right? That's actually what happened. So they're looking for an impact crater, and the reason that they can't find it is because there wasn't one. Now, the impact crater, right, because they know a deluge, another deluge happened too. The impact crater they're actually looking for caused, let me go back up here, caused the last glacial maximum. See, they looking over here. Remember, they was looking down here. Let me go back. What's wrong with my remote? See, they looking this way because that's where the effect is, right? But what actually caused the last glacial maximum affecting America so much was the sinking of a continent over here in the Pacific, not over here in the Atlantic. What they don't know is the impact crater that they're looking for during the Younger Dryas didn't happen in the Younger Dryas. The actual impact happened 12,000 years before during the Laurentine Ice Age, right? And the crater that they're looking for today is the Pacific Ocean. This is why you can't find it. You need to find something with, that would have left a mark roughly 50 million square miles. We got it right next to where the ice sheets are. It is called the Pacific, right? They just don't understand what they're looking at, right? It's okay though, right? But this is how you explain that 20,000-year-old date, applying it to OWASP, because when does the arc end? The most recent cooling, or the Younger Dryas, right, ends the Pleistocene epoch and is followed by the Holocene into our current geological epoch, right? Go down some more of this thing, tripping. Now, look at these cold regions. Right? Dumping ice on the planet. Now, this is called the Wisconsin glaciation, right? 24,000 years ago, ending 20,000 years ago, is the Wisconsin glaciation, also called the Wisconsin glacial episode, was the most recent glacial period of the North American ice sheet complex, peaking more than 20,000 years ago and ending. But listen, y'all, by applying the timetable of prophecy, right? Let me show y'all the timetable of prophecy. Excuse me. Let me show y'all the full timetable of prophecy. This is the full timetable of prophecy, right? We see right here, man being made circa 70,000, 71 and a half, 72,000 years ago. 73,000 using the Kosmonic dating system. We see the very first thinking men are created. But look, 6,000 years before this date, we already got Beastman or Asur, who we know as Adam, and his forefathers, the pre-Adamites, being born in this 6,000-year cycle, or what we know today as hominid and hominin. We're not going to get into that, but we want to show the historical times using the radiocarbon dating and actually make it make sense on a cosmological and cosmogonic timing scale. right? Using the timetable of prophecy right here. See, this is when thinking man like me and you was made way back here. And here we are today, way down here in the 25th. In Kosmon. Mind you, we don't have a God, we have a goddess. And where are we in? The 7th era, the present time, right? So I just wanted to show that real quick, and let's get back to it. Now, by applying the timetable of prophecy and the Gadol degree, right? I should show you all this. Now, for y'all who don't know, we'll break down the Gadol degree. For the faithists, they understand the Gadol, right? But this is the science of time. This is how you tell time. Time is reckoned in cycles called arcs. All time is in arcs. All arcs are cyclical, right? So a generation, right, which is 33 years, is broke down in 3 parts of 11. These 11-year cycles are called odes, right? So you put 3 of these together, you get 1 generation. So a generation is 33 years, you see? So you can break down time on the 30. This is why 33 is so special. This is the understanding of the 369 of Tesla. Right? What's in between 33 and 99? 66. 3, 6, 9. Okay. 3 generations, right? Or 99 years is 1 century. Right? A half time. Remember in the Bible they say times and half times? Well, a time is 12 generations. 12 times 33 is 396. You got 4. You add is on the 4th 100. Every 100 you add 1, or every 99 you add 1. So you're on your 4th 99, right? So you add 4. So it's 396 plus 4 equaling 400. These 6 33-year periods, or 198, right, is 2 100-year periods. So for every 99 or 2 99-year periods, so you add 2, 200, 400. This is a time and a half time. An arc cycle is roughly a 3,000-year span of time, meaning one arc is 90 generations, 90 33s. 90 33s is one arc, or 3,000 years. Now, this is what I want y'all to look at and notice. Look, we in the 360, right? And the 720 time. Peace to the gods and earths, right? We're going to use these, what is called an era, a 12,000-year span of time, or 4 3,000-year periods. 4 3,000-year periods is 12,000. 360 generations, or 360 33s, right? 360 33s equal 4 arcs, or 4 3,000-year periods equal 12,000, right? But we got a greater cycle. Remember, we're looking for the Gadol. A Gadol is 720 generations, 720 33s. Huh? You see how time is working? That gives us 8 arcs, right? or 24,000 years. And we're going to use these for the greater cycle of the earth and the lesser cycle of man. Watch this, y'all. It's Cosmonic theory, right? We're going to show you how to make sense. So when they give you these crazy ass dates, you be like, man, that shit don't line up. Then you can go to the timetables of prophecy using the Gadol degree and make it make sense. So by applying the timetables of prophecy and the Gadol degree as a measure, or the 24,000 years of earth time, we are able to tabulate that roughly every 1 million years of carbon dated time equals roughly 240 actual earth years. Let me let that sink in. Did y'all hear what I said? If y'all heard what I said, you dig what I'm talking about? Hit me with a 1 in the chat. This is how they get them crazy dates. Every 1 million years of carbon dated scientific time is actually only roughly 240 real actual earth years. If y'all following me so far, hit me with a 1 in the chat. I'm going to make it make sense for you. Every 1 million carbon, remember, this is the Cosmonic theory of rational carbon dating. If y'all following me so far, right? Every 1 million years of this thing that we know is off, but it is bringing back a date, right? How can we rationalize these dates, right? This is what we're doing. Roughly every 1 million years of carbon dated time equals roughly 240 actual years. So let's go to the chart. This is the Cosmonic radiocarbon conversion chart, or the greater cycle of the earth, the Gadol, right? Remember that 24,000 year period? We're using that, the greater, to find to make sense of the radiocarbon dating. So if follow me, 1 million carbon dated years is actually 240 regular years. 10 million years is 2,400 years. 50 million years is 12,000 years, your era. 100 million years is 24,000 actual Earth years, right? So when they give you these crazy, the dinosaur was 500 million years ago, that's only 120,000 years, actual Earth years. Remember, I'm going to show you it was impossible for man or any plant to exist at the beginning of the time of creation, because there was no oxygen. Science already understands this as the great oxidation event. I've done a whole breakdown on it using this same method, but I hadn't brought it out to show people what I was using to make it make sense, right? This is why, look, see this 500 million years ago? They say the Cambrian explosion happened in. Guess what? Really, in real life, 120,000 years ago, oxygen entered into our atmosphere. Watch this. Let's go down. Now, remember the timetable of prophecy? Right? This is when it was laid out linear, square like this. when it was laid out like this to make it look linear. Okay. This is the same chart, but dealing with the optimal time for man to exist on the planet, or what we would call the time of creation, right? And remember, we're using the what? The one Gadol. And we're judging the Eoptian age, or the optimal age for man to exist on the planet. Right? I want to break this down to you. Where we at? Okay. Yep. Watch this. We in the right spot. Right. Now the above chart shows the time of creation in the top right quadrant. See this one? This is a quadrant. That means 4. Right? See this part right here? We're starting at Asu, the dark green and the light green and the white. This is the time of creation. But I want y'all to see right here, Setantes, modern thinking man was created. Remember, these is 36,000 year periods. Right? So that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12 sections of 3,000 year periods. Y'all see it? 3,000 year periods. This right here at the beginning of Septantes is 72,000 BC. We know right where we at. Right? We go, what? 36,000 years? And another 36,000 years, we're in the 25th arc cycle, right where we are in Kosmon. Right? Boom. So, one quadrant, one of these squares, it equals 36,000 years in duration. Now, Asu, or the Adamites, right? Early beast man, is shown to arrive in the second half, listen, the second half of the second creation, being 6,000 years before upright thinking man, right? So we see the second part of the second creation. Here's the second creation. Here's the second part. What do we have being made? Proto-Asu, or Proto-Adam, or the pre-Adamites. And they come in many varieties. 78,000 BC. Also known as the Neogene, or the Mid-Miocene. But 3,000 years later, we see Asu standardized and honed. How can we explain this scientifically? It is called the hominin scientific debate, because they know the proto-Adamites was a bunch of different types, but then a higher type comes up out of nowhere. And it's the difference between hominid and hominin. They're trying to say these is animal men. They're not. I mean, they're beastly, but they're not monkeys. They're men, right? Not essentially primates. And if you just saying primate is anything with eyes that can stand up, well, then I guess you would say man could be a primate. But man is a man. The proof is he can't mate with nobody else. This also goes to explain the hominin explosion, because man was made twice. Look, in the last 6,000 years before upright thinking man and the ions and Setantes, man is Asu, early man, is made twice. explaining your hominin explosion. All right. Now, Asu is shown to arrive in the second half of the second creation. We just showed that, being 6,000 years before the Ions, or 78,000 BC, right here. That's only 78,000 BC. Look where we at. We are in the Neogene mid-Miocene. That only becomes fantastic when you look just 6,000 years. Remember, these is 3,000 year periods. 6,000 years before that, you are in the Triassic period. They telling you it's hundreds and hundreds of millions and years, millions of years ago. No. This is 84,000 BC. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That means, if you lived during the Triassic, skeletal creatures such as dinosaurs, mammals, the Paleogene period, that, man and dinosaurs lived at the same time. As a matter of fact, the dinosaurs, the serpents, were created right before man. They were created twice too. This is why you get your Cambrian explosion and the greatest death of animal life ever rationalized on this planet, called the Great Extinction. It's right here. Huh? This 68, this 81,000 BC. Greatest extinction on every planet. The greatest growth on the other planet is right here. Dinosaurs is being made. Only 6,000 years later, man is made. This is how you rationalize time. Now, essentially, right, the creation was a process of detoxification and preparation of the milieu and body that would sustain the species of man with immortal soul. But what is the definition of milieu? The milieu is the physical or social setting in which something occurs or develops, or its environment. So let's go back and read that. Essentially, the creation, right, was a process. This time, this last 24,000 years, before people who can think like us pop up. This last 24,000 years, right? Was essentially a detoxification and preparation of the environment and the body that would sustain the species of man with an immortal soul. So let this sink in. Carbon dating will tell you that the Precambrian explosion happened 500 million years ago. But look, that correlates exactly to 120,000 years ago, or the what? The Archean eon, to the Proterozoic era. Directly. Remember, every 100 million what years? Let's go back. Let's go back. Every 100 million years, every 100 million years of carbon dated time is actually only 24,000 years. So they say the Cambrian explosion happened 500 million years ago. So you would take 5 times 24,000 and you would get 120,000 years BC. But what happens is, what's the amazing part is, once you apply that to the timetable of prophecy, that brings you right here. The archaic eon is only 120,000 years ago. Oxygen traps on the planet and triumphs on the planet, creating the Proterozoic eon, and simple poisonous plants and serpents are created, right? This is 117,000 BC. That's it. Not no trillions and billions and I'm not saying man doesn't have millions and millions of years worth of time on the planet, but it's not all in a row. Man has been on and off, created and extinct multiple times. And this version of man that we are in was only made roughly 80,000 years ago. People like us, though, who think, who can, you know, have spiritual ability, and hence why they call him Abel, right? The first son, right? We're only 72,000 years old, right? So let's go. So the Big Bang and the 500, not Big Bang, but Precambrian explosion at 500 million years is really 120,000 years ago, the Archaic eon to the Proterozoic eon. Now, 400 million years ago, or only really 96,000 years ago, less than 100 years ago, is the Triassic period, where oxygen triumphs on the planet and we see life start to take off, right? 300 million years ago, or only 72,000 years ago, we got the creation of man. But Cosmon, you said man couldn't exist 300 million years ago. You're right. But remember, we're using the Gadol degree, the greater Earth count, right? It still brings us back to 72,000 years and the creation of thinking man. Right here with Setantes, but let me go back up and show you in the timetable of prophecy. Right here, 72,000 years ago in the very first ark, right? We got Setantes, right? And the first era of man created the ions, those in the biblical narrative who are called Abel, right? The ions are the sons and daughters of Adam, the beast man, and Eve, the angelic being, produce ions, or Abel. But it's 72,000 years, fitting right, perfectly. It fits perfectly on the timetable of prophecy. We can't make this up. Why is it fitting? You dig what I'm talking about? Now, right now, you got to let this sink in a second. The movie Jurassic Park was actually, right, and literally less than 100,000 years ago, and you existed at that time, at that same time. I need you to let that sink in for a second. Man lived on side of T-Rex, Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, which makes the ecostones, which show man with dinosaurs, riding dinosaurs, using dinosaurs as vehicles and, you know, workmates, right? It lends them credence, right? Now, to quote, but and those is the great dates, right? But to correlate man's time cycle, right? We did Earth, right? But to correlate man's time cycle, we must use half of the Gadol degree, or the 12,000 year cycle called an era. Remember? So to find the era of man, right? This is what we're looking for. We calculate using the era. Does that make sense? Hit me with a 2 in the chat. Does that make sense? If we're going to find the era of man, we should calculate using the era. Hit me with a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. We're trying to find the count of the earth. We use a large cycle. We're trying to find the count of man. We use the lesser cycle. If that makes sense to you, hit me with a 2 in the chat. It's all right. We're going to cook this morning. Only those who want this light going to get this light. It's all right. All right. Now, let's get into the cosmonic theory, right, for the era of man or the lesser cycle of man, tabulated by using the era. Now, with this, right, now remember, we're rationalizing carbon dates, right? So carbon dating gives us a 500-year count. It's actually only 120 Earth years, actual years. So if they give us 1,000 years, it's only 240 Earth years. If they give us 50,000 years, that is a 12,000 actually Earth years, or calculating to your era, right? 12,000 years, right? If carbon dating brings us back 100,000 years, that is actually 24,000 actual Earth years. Right? We go back 200,000 carbon dated years. That's actually only 48,000 actual years. Basically, almost cutting it into a quarter, less than a quarter. Right? Now, another very interesting correlation that we find is that our current cycle, the 25th arc cycle, after the correlation of thinking man called Kosmon, we find that by using the era time, right? The era time measured of 12,000 years, or 12,000 times 25, we get 300,000 BC, right? Which is exactly the carbon dated time given by modern science for the creation of modern humans. That is a bad. Wait. Where's the rest of my? Where's the rest of my dot? Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. There's a piece missing. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now I'll just start back again. Another very interesting correlation that we find is that our current cycle, which is the 25th arc cycle, after the creation of thinking man called Kosmon, we find that by using the era time measure of 12,000 years, or 12,000 times the 25, right, equals 300,000 BC, right? But that's exactly the carbon dated time given by modern science for the creation of modern humans. That's a bag drop. Right? Watch this. Right? Source, the Guardian. Right? So, and by replacing that Gadol, right? Replacing the Gadol for the era, right? We are able to produce a cohesive timeline for the creation of man. Remember, they said if you time this 12,000 year era times our 25th arc cycle, you get 300,000 BC. Watch where they say for modern man. Watch when they say modern man was created. Source, theguardian.com. The oldest Homo sapien bones ever found shake the foundations of human history, right? Watch this. The idea that modern humans evolved in East Africa 200,000 years ago, challenged by extraordinary discovery of a what? A 300,000-year-old remains in modern Moroccan mind, in a Moroccan mind. We know that this is an impossibility. Earth was not livable 300,000 years ago. Earth had not, the oxygen hadn't come down to 120,000 years. Remember? So no man could have been living in 300,000 years ago, right? While we're still in our current garden, a 576,000 year period of time, right? Couldn't have happened. Man couldn't have existed. So how do we rationalize this 300,000 year span of time? Huh? We rationalize it by using the timetable of prophecy. This is why we get the same age, their carbon dated age of 300,000 years is the same time if we use the Gadol degree to our current arc cycle. You think that's just coinky-dink? Y'all think that's coincidence that that's there? So if 100,000 carbon dated years equals 24,000 Earth years, then 300,000 carbon dated years equals what? 72,000 years. Ain't that the date we looking for? The modern man? Right. We found them. Never mind this old Moroccan stuff. If there's one in Morocco, there's one in America. So, right? So if 300,000 carbon dated years, right, equals 72,000 Earth years, or 6 eras, or 12,000 year era markers times 6 equals 72,000, or 3 Gadols, or 24,000 year periods times 3 equals 72,000, and equals directly to the creation of man. Now, as you see, with the use of the lesser cycle, this allows us to perfectly align the historical date, the scientific time, with the cosmogony brought forth in Owaspy and the timetables of prophecy. So with that being said, this is how we are going about writing up the abstract and everything. And we're going to offer this to the scientific community to pick apart. But what they can't do is prove why the numbers add up. Secondly, how in the world do Owaspy know any of this? Huh? For any of this to line up with anything historical, time laden, and with the cosmology and cosmogony of the universe, how in 1881 from a dentist from Ohio? That don't even make sense. That makes no sense. If you're thinking he just made this up, there's no way a man could have known this. This comes from a higher intelligence. But how is science proving what Owaspy says over 100 years later? Science is only saying what Owaspy say. Owaspy, it doesn't agree with science either, as you see. But truth don't need a crutch. So when Owaspy say something, science backs it up. But Owaspy don't back up science. Huh? Gives you a whole new way to look at it. If you are telling truth, even the lies benefit you. Huh? And I'm not going to even say that they're lies. I'm just saying that they are regurgitations of men who was just wrong. And, you know, they went by what their observations showed them. And they had an optical illusion. Simple. It happens all the time. That's the dope part about science. Science ain't even supposed to be 100% correct. It's supposed to be trying to debunk everything. And when you can't debunk it no more, then we sitting on truth. But now we see something that has an inherent flaw, like carbon dating. Then we apply historical and archaeological, geological timelines to it. And then the cosmogony of the universe and the timetable of prophecy, and it's all lining up. How? How? Like they always like to say, we weren't there to tell. You're right. Well, then how we got it now? Why is it lining up perfect? And this is a way to make a lot of that trash that they're talking about that they're trying to fit into the evolutionary theory makes sense. Right? We ain't trying to bang our head against the wall to to fix a broken system. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna show where our information parallels or trumps yours, but we ain't got to debunk what you talking about, because we can use your methods too to make ours make sense, and our methods make yours make sense. Right? Early in the morning, this is how faith is be on it. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody for coming through. I'm not even going to keep it too long. We just going to keep on burning and churning. You dig what I'm talking about? Sharing this light. You dig what I'm saying?
Create a gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
Let me see. Oh, I got something that was ill. See, this is why Owaspy is dope. Years ago, how many of y'all remember? This is probably about 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. It could have been. I know. I've said it before then, but I put it on YouTube probably about 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago, where I told y'all that I was reading Bond's Book of Praise. Y'all remember I was reading Bond's Book of Praise, and I was like, man, this seemed like it should be sung, like there's songs. And remember, I started harmonizing and singing, and I was like, yo, and it started making the song, the Bond's Book of Praise in Owaspy makes sense. Owaspy is not only aligned with light, it's aligned sonically. I want to show y'all something that what Owaspy sounds like sonically, right? I want to show y'all something, man. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Louis. The boy Lushu. I want to let me present my screen to you. This is from the Arkaban. This is Owaspy. This is nobody taught us that it was music, right? But in the very text is harmony, beauty, symmetry, music. You dig what I'm talking about? And I want to show y'all that. You dig what I'm saying? Because I've never seen this in a text before. Now they saying it's sort of kind of like a psalm, But when you read Psalms, it don't give you lyrical vibes. But I want y'all to hear what a waspy sound like when you put a waspy to a different, to music, when you back it up sonically, right? This is gonna be crazy, y'all. I hope y'all ready for this. And shout out to my boy Luciu, who did this one. Just check it out. This is praise him, oh all you people, right? From Owaspi's Bond's Book of Praise. Hold on, let me get. Hold on, let me get, because this is different. I want y'all to check this out, right? Have you ever heard a so-called spiritual book do this? Until I figured out that it was supposed to be sung, right? I didn't, we have been just reading Bond's Book of Praise. Oh yeah, it's almost like poems. You dig what I'm talking about? Then it crossed me like, man, it's supposed to go to music. And so I start harmonizing with it, and look what comes out. Watch this, y'all. You ain't gonna believe this.
Please hello, all you people with great rejoicing, and all you living that dwell on the face of the earth, and you young that are skipping and playing, and you birds that carol to the Almighty. His seed is sown abroad, his fruit springs from stones that are molded to dust in the waters of the earth, and in the air above the earth. Jehovih has spoken. Come forth and live, all you that swim and you that fly in the air. The great Spirit has touched the mountains of the deep. The air of heaven is peopled with his breath. The song of everything that lives proclaims you, Jehovah, you, the person of all persons. Oh, if I could sum up the multitude of their songs and rejoicings, what a word of testimony in your praise. All my life I would sing them over and over. You quickener into life, you are Father, who has counted your inventions and the multiplicity of your living creatures. Open the way, your earth, for the songs of his beloved. Listen and rejoice because of the glee of his household. They shall dance forever before the Almighty. Stir them up with love and caresses, oh Father. Show them the splendor of your creations. What a word of testimony in your praise. All my life I would sing them over and over. You quickener into life, you are Father, who has counted your inventions and the multiplicity of your living creatures. Open the way, your earth, for the songs of his beloved. Listen and rejoice because of the glee of his household. They shall dance forever before the Almighty. Stir them, you.
Glory. I ain't never seen a Bible do that. I didn't know it was possible. You told me songs were supposed to sound like this, but it don't sound like this. Lord, I've never heard it. This is crazy. This is crazy. You should hear the other songs. You should hear them. Oh, man. Man, shout out my boy Lou Shoe, man. I'm going to go ahead and let it ride just a little bit, and I'm going to cut it off.
Stir them new with love and caresses, oh Father. Show them the splendor of sing to the all-giver, Jehovih. Praise him, oh all you people, with great rejoicing. And all you living that dwell on the face of the earth, and you young that are skipping and playing, and you birds that carol to the Almighty. His seed is sown abroad, his fruit springs from stones that are molded to dust. In the waters of the earth and in the air above the earth, Jehovah has spoken. Come forth and live, oh you that swim and you that fly in the air. The Great Spirit has touched the fountains of the deep. The air of heaven is peopled with his breath. The song of everything that lives proclaims you, Jehovah, the person of all.
Sheesh. Sheesh. That shoot like shivers down your spine, man. You said that was amazing. Reminds me of Bond's Book of Praise. I just told you that's what that is. That's what that is. When you turn Bond's Book of Praise into actual songs, sounds like that. That's crazy. That is crazy, Elijah. I've never, ever I've never seen it like that. It makes sense that the words would be harmony and beauty and symmetry, which is music. It just makes sense. That's just something to think on early this morning. Early in the morning. Sipping on coffee, smoking on loud. You dig what I'm talking about? We're going to get this thing, get your mind thinking early in the morning. You dig what I'm saying? With that being said, I ain't going to hold y'all up too much longer. We'll play a joint. We'll play a joint real quick. Get up out of here real quick. Shout out to my boy Taz, man. Shout out to Taz, man. He going to be on the album too. Let's go.
I look into the face of my enemy. I see my brother. I see my brother.
Look through the eyes of my enemy, no friend of me. The same one who killed Trayvon Officer friendly, but it ain't friendly. Remember Anunnaki, a fallen one who put the gun to the head of Pimp C. Resurrection in progress, we fake this, call it R.I.P. Now rise and shine, harvest time, government heavenly. Even our white brothers and sisters from the 70s. After the light of day, we were separate as family, no brotherhood.
I look into the face of my enemy. I see my brother. I see my brother.
Since 6 to Super 7 got me deep in the 8. Every mile running is race is still black is my face. As they peep out they peripherals appalled by the game. Whenever white rain and thunder put delays in the game. My flow from atmospheria, my shoes they come from Italy. Vortexian heat, I'm transferring this energy everywhere deliberately. Cops will kill you literally and label you a terrorist if black with your identity. No brotherhood.
I look into the face of my enemy. I see my brother. I see my brother.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
All right, I might need to unmute that. Hey, but as always, you know what? Let's rock out a little bit.
I must confess, feelings like cement down in my chest. Say I'm sorry is to do my best. Restitution be the solution for all the hurt, the sorrow, shame. I know I'm to blame. 'Cause I tried to run away from home. I found myself all alone. Trying to sing this song. Had to learn the lesson on my own. It's home. That's how it's home. It's home.
Glass out. Gotta watch the mouth. Let's go.
Creator gang is undefeated. Creator gang is undefeated. Know that. Know that. They not like us. Separate the real from the fake is a must. We stand on creator and no God we trust. Team Kemet got crushed into powder and dust. Kemet looking bad now. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many men down? Look at us all running, ducking, trying to skip town. Now power one it in. You Hebrew, what you Kemet now? Siding with the people that enslaved your own people now? Chop you up into pieces and throw you in the river now. Reggie right beside you, get ate by Kemetic crocodile. Look, we got him running, covering square miles. Scared to death, what's left? Only to take the crown. Get smashed down on your own stomping ground. We took over like the Hicks on your turf doing a disco. 2-stepping, no half-stepping with the info. You wouldn't even know the book of the dead, bro, if it wasn't for the translation done by my sparrow. Your time's narrow, semi-missiles blow out your arch arrows. Arches down, so goes the pharaoh. I saw him reading the glyphs like he an expert. But where he learned that from? This about to hurt. First translation came from Samuel Birch. European Egyptology gave you it first. You couldn't translate a bird to a word without looking up them European definition verbs. Y'all niggas acting like y'all blackity black. Fronting to the people, man, y'all niggas actually whack. Your pathetic comedic creation meant there's a trap. The blind leading the blind with no actual facts. Shabario Saze, you softer than Sade. Come to find out he followed Yahweh. That was your execution. You Rosicrucian. Western thought you using. You are quite confusing. Don't know what you doing. How my eye got you moving. Right now you are losing. At your wake I'm viewing. R.I.P. communion. Mummy wrapped in ruin. OSP is ruling. Science has been proven. All motion moving. You live in an illusion. Who you think you fooling? Think you need some schooling. It's like Reggie out here living in a ghost town. Walking around like I see dead people around. I don't believe in spirits, but I believe them now. Stuttering Stanley, you can have a seat now.
Stuttering Stanley, stuttering Stanley, stuttering Stanley, stuttering Stanley.
Freak. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. 69 gods, 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. 69 gods, 69 gods. Creator gang is undefeated. Creator gang is undefeated. And it's gonna remain that way. And it's gonna remain that way.
In a marriage, it is normal to want something new.
Cosma from the Light and Dark album. Sneak peeks today. Whoa. My only aim was to my only aim was to be true to the game. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm selector. Rewind. And my only aim was to be true to the game. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. It's that Light and Dark album. Hey, selector, rewind. It's that Cosmo and that Light and Dark album. Gonna be fire. My only aim was to be true to the game. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove
and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. I chef it, I shift it. Back up on a mission, they should call me Verlander. By the way that I pitch a hard white straight drop. Keep me jumping out of drops. I can tell you what time it is cause I can whip a watch. Before I go back, bitch, I shoot a cop. And before I see a fly, I'll water whip a wop. All I need is measuring spoons and 2 pots. And I'ma ride, like my name Tupac. Blue armor hammer with my arm on a hammer. And that's a tall balls make the color like bananas. True to the game and the boys is bananas. Put that work on the block and the boys go bananas. Crip blue 7 tray set it on containers. Blue still blaming if the boys won't enter. Never said can't cause I don't know why can't I. Just step up in the kitchen, nigga, and I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. I gotta get it up if I'm trying to get it is off. $200 for the ball if it sizz off. Big boy drop, yeah, I took the top is off. Holla baby, if your man need a job, I'm a biz off. Yeah, I cut my teeth, I ain't talking about flizz off. Send a camera 4-5 for the double criz off. Money house big, shit'll get your liz off. White ball long range, I ain't talking about giz off. Told my baby 9 for the 9, no stretch work. And I bet it all bounce back, no bet work. Had to get up off of my ass, you know network. Drop your dog a couple of them bones, I fetch work. Do that ass bad if you talking about Disney. 454, keep the Chevy on skis. Now my blood's D-die, and I damn near went business. True to the game, all we know is hard whiz nerve. Step up in my kitchen, I'll put them in your shiz nerves. Niggas talk shit, so I'm staying on the list nerve. Cow like a trap house, boy, I got whiz nerve. Get a nigga whole crew, that's just for Disney. Imagine with the Washingtons, but I ain't a wizard. All type of furs on snakes and lizards. I ain't taking shit, and that's what I gotta give them. If motherfuckers sick, then I'ma spit a hospital. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm back up in the kitchen. I'm standing over this stove and the water whipping. I asked the baking soda, hey baking soda, did you miss me? Cause I'm back up in the kitchen. That's right, I'm back up in the kitchen.
Okay, if your God came to you, if your God came to you right now, tonight, in pomp and glory, shining, and he commanded the death of your child, would you sacrifice your child?
If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course. If the Most High is going to do it, of course.
Wow. And mind you, to never leave none of you Hebrew niggas around no children. Right? You listen, facts.
Which your mind, whoever in the background laughing.
Listen, by you saying that, nigga, you just as bad as polite.
All right, question for Iz. Would you kill your child, your son, if your God told you to?
You said if the Most High told me to?
Yeah.
Or if I man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is.
What?
Or if man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is. Or man, the Most High said do it, then that's what it is. Our Father, as I allowed to examine, elaborate, right?
You said yeah?
Yeah, you said would I kill my child if the Most High told me to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not more than my brother. I'm not greater than Abraham.
No, I'm saying you said yeah. I'm saying you said yeah. That was the answer. Yeah, that was the answer. All right.
The moral law is that if a child was to be rebellious, okay, towards their parents, they was to be taken down and stoned to death because of that. You see what I'm saying?
Would you do that? Would you do that if your God came back to you today in glory and said, I want you to stone your son if he get rebellious? Would you? Would you do it?
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I would.
Wow.
I done some wicked shit.
Yes, we know.
That's Satan. How do I know? Because I was there. I had depression, which is nothing but goddamn demons, on me for years. I was thinking about killing myself, walking up unaliving people, gay shit.
What's it?
Aliving people, gay shit.
What? The Most High had you thinking gay shit?
Walking up unaliving people, gay shit.
Damn.
Oh.
You seen that? You seen that come out of the clouds? Man, what was that?
Create a gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
As always, I just need y'all to breathe in. Let that light in. It's on Kosmonic, and I'm out.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh, it's that Japheth, that chow mein, that Papabul, that Tao mein, since sun south in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao Sang, so ass above, it's so below. That up and that down thing, this flow is atmospherian. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing current? See, the pattern is ponic, I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the ether. And when the force gets the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing political. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Sela. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door star. And the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a Angui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm a Israelite, I'ma make him at the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faithless. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.
fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.